I think my job next is to introduce Cameron. Cameron, if you'll come on up. Glenn gave you quite a send-up there, so those are big shoes to fill, but I'm sure you can. Join me in welcoming Cameron.
Thank you. Well, Glenn is never at a loss for words, but I don't know if you have ever received an email from Glenn Lurie. He is a man of few words in email. And the best quote that I have from him, 2 words: get done. And that's what I do for Glenn Lurie's organization. We get things done. I run product development for emerging devices. And so we have to make it all work for the end customer. And so a lot of what you're going to hear tonight, some of it is just about the market, this connected life that we're talking about. But hopefully I'll give you a little bit of an insight into the technology behind it also. First of all, your connected life, you have to have some kind of a device that is connected. And why is AT&T interested in this? We're interested in it because it's such a growing market. It has such potential. You know, there have been many different studies done on how big this connected device ecosystem could be, and it's all over the map. But what I like is these circles are getting bigger over time, and by 2020, the estimate here is that there are going to be 7 times more connected devices in the world than there are people in the world. Think of that, that's incredible. Now, what is a connected device? We're not going to say that everything that connected is going to be connected through this cellular network. That would be kind of silly, right? But we do think that it has quite a role to play, as does Wi-Fi, as do other short-range links like Bluetooth. And ultimately, these connected devices have to get back to somewhere, right, with their data. And so AT&T wants to be smack dab in the middle of connecting your world and delivering it and really improving your life. So that is a theme that you're going to hear over and over is, how can this connected device improve your life? So how we are structured in the Emerging Devices organization is around a number of key segments. We picked these segments on purpose because we felt they were some of the biggest. They were the ones that were going to take off the soonest. Now, not included in here is something called Digital Life, and that is our home security and automation service. That is another line of our business, but in emerging devices, we focus on things that are not your smartphone, not your tablet, but are connected in some way, typically through cellular, but it could be a wearable that is short range as well. And the segments that we picked, based upon a lot of analysis, starting in the right side over there, automotive, right top, your connected car. We're going to talk about that a little bit more. There were some announcements made recently about General Motors picking AT&T for their 2015 model year vehicles in the United States, actually in North America. Last week, they even mentioned that we would be working with them in Europe. And you might scratch your head and say, how does AT&T provide connectivity outside of AT&T's footprint? Well, we have ways to do it. Starts with a global SIM, something that we could maybe explore a little more in a Q&A session if you'd like. But really, when you're connecting your vehicle, it's something that's been done before. But now that we have this honkin' big LTE link into this connected car, you can do a lot more things, some really cool things. And we've just started scratching the surface with some of those things I'll talk about in a minute. Consumer electronics and wearables was the second segment. Now, consumer electronics is huge. And we've tried lots of different things over the years, actually. We tried connected picture frames. We tried personal navigation devices. None of those took off. And one of the points here is you've got to fail fast when you're in an emerging device ecosystem, because you don't know what's really going to be resonating in the market. For connected picture frames, it just happened that we introduced them right before tablets got introduced. Well, tablets is what people use to display pictures these days for the majority of their time. Personal navigation devices, we started rolling them out about the time that smartphones started providing navigation for free. So you're not going to really know sometimes what's going to hit and what's going to not hit. But wearables is one that we think is truly going to be a game changer, and we'll talk about that in a little more detail. And health and fitness, this is one that we've tried some things before. We've had some very cool devices that actually have won awards. We worked with a company called Vitality on something called a Glow Cap that basically it's a connected pill bottle. It's got a short range link and it goes off to the cellular network eventually from a hub. And this can help you if you have an aged parent, let's say, and you want to make sure they're taking their medication and you're not there, you're remote. So this is an example of what we're trying to do in the health space is help people to live better lives. This is why Digital Life just announced that an initiative that is really to help people age in place, right, in their homes, to help older adults to stay in their homes longer rather than having to go live with somebody else or go to a nursing home or something. So tracking is another area that we have focused on. And you might think, what is tracking? Is that an ankle bracelet for a prisoner? Well, really think about it in terms of a child and making sure your child is safe, right? And so we have a product called Phillips, the Phillips watch that was introduced for a child, a bracelet basically that a child wears, and you can make sure that they stay safe, you know where they're at. So these are the segments that the emerging devices space looks after, and we connect all these things through the AT&T network. Why connected car? What's on the horizon here? In 2013, 260 million cars were on the road, but only 5% of those were connected. Fast forward to 2018, and we believe that 64% of the cars on the road will be connected, and that's only going to increase over time. This is a huge market, and it can dramatically change our lives. We've already heard how big a mess it was to get over here, right? Imagine if there were things that we could do because of your connection in your car to avoid some of these traffic conditions even better, you know? And I'm not talking about just on an individual basis. I'm talking on a mass basis as we get to autonomous cars that can drive themselves, that can keep those accidents from happening, right, in the future. That's nothing that's going to come out by 2019, but it's coming out pretty soon after that, I think. A lot of people are working on it, and you truly need connectivity in order to do that. And we are on the leading edge of connecting cars. I mentioned General Motors. There's many others also that we're working with, both in the United States and elsewhere. And I touched on wearables and why we see this as such an incredible space. These statistics are, you scratch your head and you say 60% of consumers are interested in wearables, and yet only 36% of them have actually considered purchasing them. And of those that have purchased them, only 13%, only 13% have actually purchased them today. And so there's a big pent-up demand. We think there's a big opportunity, right? 36% have considered it, only 13% have bought it. And we think that now, with all the new wearables coming out, Samsung is here, they've got some great wearables, and Apple just announced some, right? And I wear a Nike Fuel band, which is going away, and I'll go get something else, right? But the point is, people are starting to wear these and use them, and it's really to improve their life. So what can we do to improve your life, to quantify your life better, to help you to understand, maybe here's my calorie intake, here's how much calories in the food that I'm eating. Now that we have sensors that can track things like that, so you can track your calorie intake, your calorie expended, and talk about getting more healthy. What a better way to do it than through sensors like that. And then medical devices, I touched on some of them that we tried, but some of the things that we think are coming up are people are going to want to be in control of their health more. You know, today the doctors have you come in and fill out forms, and every time you go see a new doctor, you have to fill out a ream of forms, don't you? And even once a year, when I go back to my regular doctor, they make me refill out the same stinking forms I filled out the time before. Is anybody kind of tired of that? Okay, so, you know, we don't have to do that. We can take our lives back. Truly, why isn't this stuff all in the cloud, safe and secure? You own it, it's you, and you can deliver that to whatever doctor you choose. This is what we mean by what connectivity can bring to you, right? Is this ability to have your own health records that you control, that you can provide to your primary care physician or whoever when you want to. So it's all about improving your life. I talked about child locators. This is just the one I mentioned. Phillips and Amber Alert as well is another one that we connect. You know, what a terrible statistic. A child goes missing every 40 seconds in the US. What if we can keep that from happening? That's what AT&T wants to be all about, improving your life and your family's life, right, through connectivity. All right, that's thank you.